So we have studied so far. In business, we have two types, that is industry and commerce. We have completed this portion of industry, primary, secondary, tertiary. We have already learned in previous classes, so I don't think so I need to explain this whole part. Now talking about commerce, this is the new part for you, so I will explain it to you. So let's get started. So I am explaining commerce part. So commerce includes two types of activities, that is trade and auxiliaries to trade. Buying and selling of goods is termed as trade, but there are a lot of activities that are required to facilitate the purchase and sale of goods. So these are called services or auxiliaries to trade. So these assist the trading activities. So this includes transport, banking, insurance, warehousing, advertising, packaging and warehousing. Commerce includes both buying and selling of goods, that is trade, as well as auxiliaries to trade such as transport, banking, etc. Commerce provides the necessary link between the producers and consumers. It embraces all those activities which are necessary for maintaining a free flow of goods and services. Thus, all activities involving the removal of hindrances in the process of exchange are included in commerce. So, commerce is said to consist of activities of removing the hindrances of person, place, time, risk, finance, and information in the process of exchange of goods and services. Therefore, commerce is very important. Now talking about trade, so trade is an essential part of commerce. It refers to sale, transfer or exchange of goods. It helps in making the goods produced available to the consumers or users for the final consumption. So why the trade is so important these days? So these days goods are produced on a large scale, and it's very difficult for the producers to themselves reach out to the individual buyers or consumers for selling their products for the final consumption. So businessmen are engaged in many trading activities so that they make available goods to consumers in different markets, and in the absence of trade it would not be possible to undertake such production activities on a large scale. So therefore trade is very important. So trade may be classified into two types, that is internal and external. So internal, domestic or home trade is concerned with buying and selling of goods and services within the geographical boundaries of a country. This may be further divided into wholesale and retail trade. Now talking about external trade. External or foreign trade consists of exchange of goods and services between persons or organizations operating in two or more countries. Now if goods are purchased from another country, it is called import trade, and if they are sold to other countries, it is known as exported trade. And when goods are imported for export to some other countries, then it is known as entrepot trade. Now talking about auxiliaries to trade, activities which are meant for assisting trade are known as auxiliaries to trade. So these activities are generally referred to as activities because these are in the nature of facilitating the activities relating to industry and trade. Transport, banking, insurance, warehousing and advertising are regarded as auxiliaries to trade, and these activities play a supportive role. In short, these are support system or backbone of the trade. It is considered as catalyst in trading activities. These activities help in removing various hindrances which arise in connection with the production and distribution of goods. So these activities facilitate movement, storage, financing, risk coverage and sales promotion of goods. So auxiliaries to trade are briefly discussed as below. So first is transport and communication. So production of goods generally takes place in a particular locations. For instance, tea is produced in Assam, sugar is produced in UP and Bihar, but these goods are required for consumption in different parts of the country. So the obstacle of place is removed by transport through road, rail or coastal shipping. Transport facilitates movement of raw materials to the place of production and the finished product from factories to the place of consumption. And along with the transportation, there is also the need for communication facilities so that producers, traders, and consumers may exchange information with one another. Thus, postal services and telephone facilities may be regarded as auxiliaries to business activities. Now, second point is banking and finance. So, banking activities cannot be undertaken unless funds available for acquiring assets, purchasing raw materials, and meeting other expenses. So, necessary funds can be obtained by businessmen from a bank. So, thus, banking helps business activities to overcome the problem of finance. Now, talking about insurance. So, business involves various type of risk: factory, building, machinery, furniture risk, and these must be protected against fire, theft, and other risk. Material and goods held in stock or in transit are subject to the risk or loss or damage. Employees are also required to be protected against the risk of accident and occupational hazards. So, insurance provides protection in all such cases. So, talking about warehousing. So, uh, goods are not consumed or sold immediately after the production, so they are held in stock to make them available as and when required. So, warehousing helps business firms to overcome the problem of storage and facilitates the availability of goods when needed. Now, talking about advertising. So, advertising is one of the most important methods of promoting the sales of products, particularly consumer goods like soaps, automobile goods, etc. Now, most of these goods are manufactured and supplied in the market by numerous firms, that is big or small. So, it is practically impossible for every producers and traders to contact to each and every customer individually. Thus, for promoting sales, information about about their products or goods and services available, their features and price must reach potential buyers. So also there is a need to persuade potential buyers about the users, quality, prices, competitive information about the goods and services. So advertising helps in providing information about the available products or goods or services and inducing the customers to buy their items so that they can also earn profit, and users can also do their consumption. Now, talking about multiple objectives of business. So, objectives are needed in every area and in every aspect that influences the survival and prosperity of business. Now, since a business has to balance a number of needs and goals, it requires multiple objectives. And objectives have to be specific in every area and sphere of business. For example, sales targets have to be set, the amount of capital to be raised has to be estimated, and the target number of units to be produced needs to be defined. So let us see objectives of business. So first we have market standing. So market standing refers to the position of an enterprise in the market, and a business enterprise must aim at standing stronger in terms of offering competitive products to its customers and serving them to the fullest satisfaction. Now, second is innovation. So innovation is the introduction of new ideas in the way something is done or made. So there are two kind of innovation in every business, that is innovation in product and services, and innovation in various skills and activities needed to supply products and services. So innovation is very important, as no business can flourish in a competitive world without innovation. For example, 10 years back there was not the like AirPods or AirPods thing, but now we have earpods and wireless headphones. So that is innovation in the products or in the market. Now, talking about productivity. So productivity is ascertained by comparing the value of output with comparing the value of inputs. It is used to measure of efficiency in order to ensure like continuous survival and progress. So every enterprise must aim at greater productivity through the best use of available resources. Now the fourth is physical and financial resources. Any business requires physical resources like plants, machinery, offices, etc., and financial resources like the funds to be able to produce and supply goods and services to its customers. Fifth is profit earnings. So one of the objectives of business is to earn profits on the capital employed. Profitability refers to profit in relation to capital investment. So every business must earn a reasonable profit, which is so important for its survival and growth, and no business can run longer without profit. Now, sixth is manager performance and development. So, business enterprises need managers to conduct and coordinate business activity. Manager performance and development, therefore, is an important objective. The enterprises must actively work for this purpose, because under manager there are workers, and manager should be like means he or she should motivate the workers so that its enterprise uh, can do better performance. Now, seventh point is workers' performance and attitudes. So, workers' performance and attitudes determine their contribution towards productivity and profitability of any enterprise. So, therefore, every enterprise must aim at improving its workers' performance. Now, seventh is social responsibility. Social responsibility refers to the obligation of business firms to contribute resources for solving social problems and work in a socially desirable manner. So, that's it. That were the objectives of business. So, first was market standing, second was innovation, third productivity, fourth physical and financial resources, fourth is earning profit, fifth was manager performance and development, and seventh is workers performance and attitude, eighth is social responsibility. Now, talking about business risk, the term business risk refers to the possibility of inadequate profits or even losses due to unexpected events. It is the risk which is faced by the businessman. It can be in the form of fire, theft, and many things. So, guys, let's talk about nature of business risk. So, first is business risk arise due to uncertainties. So, we don't know that what will happen in future to the business. It may be in the form of natural calamities, changes in price, changes in government policies. So these are some of the examples of uncertainty which create risk for the business, because the outcome of these future events are not known. So second is risk is an essential part of every business. So every business has some risk. The risk cannot be ignored nor it can be eliminated. It can be minimized. So it vary from business to business. It depends upon the nature of the business, that what type of business it is. So risk is based upon the nature of its business. Third is degree of risk depends mainly upon the nature and size of business. So these 2 points are interrelated. Second point and third point. This point. So nature of business, that is types of goods and services produced and sold, and size of the business, that is volume of production and sale, are main factors which determine the amount of risk in the business. So whether the business is small scale or large scale, uh, so means generally a large scale business has higher risk than what the small scale has. So degree of risk mainly depends upon the size and nature of business. So that is the point. Profit. Now fourth point is profit is reward for risk taking. No risk no gain is an age old principle which applies to all types of business. So greater the risk involved in a business, higher is the incentive that business earns, and so profit is thus reward for risk taking entrepreneurs. Now talking about cause of business risk, so there are four cause of business risk. First is natural cause, second human cause, third economic causes, and fourth is other causes. So we will see one by one. So first is natural cause. So human beings have little control over the natural calamities like earthquake, tsunami, and heavy rain, virus, etc. Natural causes highly affects the property and income of the business. Now second point is human causes. So human causes include such unexpected events like carelessness or stoppage of work due to power failure, strikes or riots, or management inefficiency, etc. For example, due to the carelessness of some office employees, the office was put in fire. So it caused a huge effect to a or huge loss to the business. So third is economic causes. These include uncertainties relating to demand for goods, competition, price, collection of dues from customers, change of technology or method in production, so etc. Fourth is other causes. So these are unforeseen situations or events like political disturbances, mechanical failures, power failures, or fluctuations in exchange rates, etc., which lead to the possibility of business risk. So it's the last topic, that is starting a business basic factors. What we need, basic factors while we are starting a business. So starting a business enterprise is similar to any other human effort in which resources are employed to achieve certain objectives. So here are some of the basic factors which must be considered by anybody who is to start the business are as follows. So first is selection of line business. So the first thing to be decided by an entrepreneur is the nature and type of business to be undertaken. The entrepreneur will obviously like to enter that branch of industry from where the larger amounts of profits would be earned. Now, second point is size of business. So, size of the firm is another important decision to be taken at the start of the business. So, if the entrepreneur is confident enough and can arrange the necessary capital for large scale business, so he can definitely start the operation at the large scale. Now, if the market conditions are uncertain and risk are high, then small scale business would be a better choice. Now, third point is choice of form of ownership. With respect to ownership, the business organization may take the partnership, sole proprietorship form of business, or joint stock company. Now, each form has its own merits and demerits. So, the choice of the suitable form of ownership will depend on the factors like the line of business, the capital requirements, the liability, legal formality, transferability of interest, and so on. Now, the fourth point is location of the business enterprise. So, an important factor to be considered at the start of business is the place where the enterprise will be located. Localization is very important as availability of raw materials and labor are near to our business, or transportation hub is near to our business or not, and any mistake in this regard can result in high cost of production, inconveniencing getting the raw materials and the right kind of production inputs, or serving the customers in the best possible way. So localization of business is very important, as if we do any mistake, it will cause the higher cost of production, which the business will not be able to do or deal with. Now, the fifth point is financing the proposition. Financing is concerned with providing the necessary capital for starting as well as for continuing the proposed business. So, capital is required for investment in fixed assets like land, building, machinery, furniture, and equipments, in current assets like raw material, stock of finished goods, etc. So, capital is also required for meeting day to day expenses in the business, and proper financial planning must be done to determine the requirement of capital. And second is source from where the capital will be raised and the best ways of utilizing the capital in the firm. Now, the sixth point is physical facilities. So, availability of physical facilities, including machines, equipments, plant machinery, building, and supportive services, is an important factor to be considered at the start of the business. So, this decision is mainly depend upon the nature and size of business and availability of the capital or funds and the process of production. Now, seventh point is plant layout. So, layout means the physical arrangement of the machines and the equipment or inputs needed to manufacture a good or a product. So, the entrepreneurs must lay out a plan showing the arrangement of these facilities of plant machinery so that they can manufacture the products. Now, the eighth point is competent and committed workforce. So, every enterprise needs dedicated, competent, and committed workforce to perform various activities so that physical and financial resources are converted into desired outputs, and the business can achieve its profit in the short period. Now, since no individual entrepreneur can do everything himself, he or she must identify the requirement of skilled and unskilled workers and managerial staff. So, plan should be made about how the employees will be trained and motivated to give their best performance. And manager should himself give motivational speeches to their employees, to their to their employees so that they can give their best performance while they are working in the business, so that their business can achieve uh, achieve profit, greater amount of profit. Now, sixth point is tax planning. Tax planning has become necessary these days because there are a number of tax laws in the country, and they affect almost every functioning of the business. That is, for example, it was like a new tax law, income tax law. That is, what was that? Like our ITR filing, income tax rate filing. So the founder of the business has to consider in advance the tax liability under various tax laws and its impact on the business decisions. So tax planning is very important, as if we will not do the tax planning, the ED will, of course, will catch the founder of the business. Now, 10th is launching the enterprise. Now, finally, after the decisions relating to the above mentioned factors have been taken, the entrepreneur can start or launch the enterprise, their his dream project, where he can do various mobilizing various resources, fulfilling necessary legal formalities. Now, starting the production process and initiating the sales promotion campaign. Now, he can do the business activities smoothly after doing all this.